Listen, it's just wonderful to be in conversation with folks around advancing that digital workforce here in Newfoundland and Labrador. I'm Allan from Gale Force Winds, and I'm always excited to be in conversations that are helping other people find their future in technology here in this wonderful place. Why don't we start by introducing yourself and tell us what you do?
So I'm Heather Zurel, owner and data scientist at Data Farms. So we're a precision agriculture company. So we use sensors to help farmers use resources, chemical resources like fertilizer and fuel more efficiently. Yeah.
Cool.
That's what we do.
Yeah, so I'm Director of Industry Engagement here at Keene College. And as you said, we're advancing the digital workforce, helping employees and students get the skills they need to be effective in the digital era.
Yeah. Now, Heather, really cool, right? I mean, that's a very traditional industry, agriculture, and many would say, "Oh, where does digitization fit into that?" But you find yourself perfectly in that sweet spot with this precision ag play, and that is going to require an awful lot of, really kind of digital transformation. Could you give me your lens on digital transformation, what that means to you?
Yeah, I mean, I think across all industries, in the office, in the field, in agriculture, wherever you are, technology is creeping in. Mm-hmm. I think it would be difficult to be effective without making use of the tech that we have available to us, and people's productivity would suffer if we don't really take advantage of everything that we have at our disposal. So, when you look at the cost of fuel and fertilizer and what's happened in the last several years, it's been increasing dramatically, and we see that in the grocery stores, in food prices. So it's affecting all of us. And so, can we bring technology, like physical technology, hardware sensors, to figure out exactly what's there, how's the water moving underground, and how does that affect the movement of nutrients and the availability of nutrients to the plants. And if we can understand that really well, we can really optimize what's needed and save money for the farmer. And in the end, that helps make fresh local food more affordable, which is our goal.
Yeah, and I mean that what you talk about there is such an eloquent way to kind of describe it. But to me, it speaks to like, wow, there's a real need here for a different type of language, a different type of conversation. It's particularly when you look at the the agricultural world. I mean, what we're talking about here is a new style of digital literacy, and maybe Ajay could speak to that, digital literacy.
Yeah, sure. And I think, like Heather pointed out, like digital transformation is affecting everybody. It's everywhere, and a big thing about the ever-changing environment here, in terms of the way we work today, is really how do you upskill employees to be effective, to be relevant, to be competitive in this global environment. And so having the relevant digital skills is very important. And that can vary by sector and industry. So for instance, in the technology sector, having skills to make your products, your solutions more competitive from a perspective of being more reliable, more secure from a cyber security perspective is very important. If we look at government and municipalities, we're getting a lot of industries from AI. Like, there's concerns about AI, but how do you leverage the power of AI to make your work more efficient, but at the same time being aware of some of the ethical issues raised from that? So it means different things for different people and different sectors, but the overall opportunity is making sure that every Newfoundland Labrador has access to these digital skills.
Yeah, a clever way to do that, of course, is making them condense and then kind of offering them in a format that everybody can get access to. And of course, what I'm talking about here is micro-credentials. Tell me about your thoughts on micro-credentialing and how all that plays out.
I think they're great. I actually did one here at Keene several months ago now, one of the AWS micro-credentials. My husband's doing one right now. So I'm a big fan. I think, I did my degree many, many years ago now. Almost 10 years ago, and I've worked in other industries related, but never the same. So that, there's always a need to teach yourself things and to figure it out. And, you can do that yourself to a point, but I think the micro-credentials are a really kind of direct, really kind of quick way to get, an expert to give you an overview of all the most important things that you need to be aware of in this area. And I had a great experience with the micro-credential that I did. And my husband just started, but he's enjoying his now too. So I think they're fantastic. And where they're shorter, it's something that you can definitely do while you're working and kind of upskill as you go. And they're more relevant, I find, as well. The things I was learning in university 10 years ago, yeah, it was helpful, but we've changed a lot, and we've moved on. So, learning how to learn, how to research was so important, because it's what's necessary to, I think, advance in the workforce these days.
I enjoy that explanation for sure. To make them relevant, though, it must, Ajay, on your end, it must require a tremendous amount of collaboration between academia and industry to make sure you're marrying up the needs.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that's, as part of a larger learning community, that's one of the strengths that Kean Colleges has. As a private institution, we can turn on a dime. So, when we work and create these micro-credentials, it's not in a vacuum. We work with Heather and other companies to understand what are the needs in the market today, identify those needs and gaps, and then build curriculum around it. And so the curriculum we've built around our AWS and technology sales and other courses that we're offering from a micro-credential perspective, they're all built with subject matter experts in the industry, and then after we complete the courses, we get feedback. So it's an iterative circle.
Who are they for? Like, who's the ideal candidate for a micro-credential?
We go back to the theme today, digital transformation's happening everywhere, so they're for everybody. I mean, we have a micro-credential here that can serve the needs for anyone. It's very easy to get access to. You can go to that QR code and just access it through there, www.kean.com. Very quick way to get within a minute you can get registered. We have courses for people that are more software oriented, so like quality assurance, quality control, people wanting to get into the software sector is a great entry point. But then AI, cybersecurity, we're seeing every sector apply for those. So we have something for everybody.
The big tent, everybody's welcome here, right?
Yeah, and micro-credential sounds like a different term, but really it's a quick way to learn a new skill.
And cost?
Cost is free right now. $3,000 course for free, thanks to the government of Canada and the Find Your Future in Tech. But it's a limited time. Unfortunately, that program ends March 31st, and the seats will run out. So part of today is make sure if you want to do a course, get it now while it's free. Yeah,
Heather, I'm going to leave the last kind of word with you. So let's plant some seeds here. Put this in your world. Let's plant some seeds here for some people that might be thinking, is this digital transformation for me? Should I be leaning into these? What would you tell somebody that's out there now that might be looking at upskilling themselves?
I think, and maybe it's because of my background and how my education wasn't in exactly what I'm doing right now, but I think, it's just so essential that we should be upskilling constantly. I really like the format of the Kean courses where they're online and they're all recorded. It makes it easier to fit into a busy schedule, and I've just found them so valuable. We recently hired someone doing a full-time program here, but she had also done several of these micro-credentials. So in addition to her skills as a software developer, she's been able to help the company on the infrastructure side, AWS, and just these broad knowledge of the tools available and kind of how to implement it is so essential for a very early stage startup when a lot of us are kind of wearing a lot of hats. But I want to kind of mention AI specifically and the generative AI course. I think that one is so powerful, it's so beneficial for everybody. And I mean, think back to, when the very first people started driving cars instead of having to walk to work, how powerful was that to have that many hours back in your day? Did people get lazy or did they do more?
Right.
Right? And I think that depends on the person. So, you have this tool available to you. You don't need to be a coder anymore. You can talk to it through your phone. You can type in your computer like a regular conversation. and benefit from this technology and these tools. And it just saves so much time that I think that, if people choose not to adopt new technology and take advantage of the tools that are available to them, they'll increasingly struggle to keep up with people who take advantage of everything that is available to them. And a lot of these things are totally free at this point. You can pay for the most up-to-date version, but the state-of-the-art version from 2 months ago, that's now available for free. So it's so powerful, so available, and in my opinion, it's been such a powerful tool for my own productivity that I would compare it to the first cars or the first calculators. Like, how big a game changer were those things in individuals' productivity?
Well, Heather, thank you very much for planting that seed with such precision, I might add, and to you, Aj. What Kian is doing here is, in Heather's world, you're putting the right amount of nutrients into this thing with some great precision and creating a great result. Funny thing was, my podcast partner, Jerry Carew, he was around for the first calculator, so that's kind of interesting. So thanks for joining us on the show.
Yeah, thank you so much.